Test, test, 1, 2, 3. Test, test, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, this is a walkthrough of Doom 2016 that I'm actually doing for my school. And what this is, we have to do a full walkthrough of this game and also analyze it. I don't know how far I'm going to get in this first day, but I'm going to try to get into an hour. I think I'll just put it at like 50 minutes or so. At least to chapter 1. I think there's about 16 chapters in this game. It's a decent length game. Like, I'll probably have to binge play it over a weekend or so. So I start off with a pistol. Headshot some mooks. I actually been playing Doom Eternal. I love how it's like you fire the gun and then analyze it, which is actually kind of believable. You first see the villain.
We have to contain this.
Finally get your suit. I forget what they called this. I want to call it the Probator suit or something like that, but I feel like that's a Metroid suit. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of crossover between the Doom and Metroid communities, and maybe a little bit of the Halos. You just sort of get this feeling that characters with really, really good mech suits are generally going to be pretty popular amongst people. So, employee threat level, attack origin available. Unfortunately, one sucky thing about this game. Yeah, can't skip cutscenes. But there's a lot I like about this game. Is like one is that they keep Doomslayer completely silent. They have Doomslayer some pretty good, or Doom Marine as they call him in this one. I think he gets the term Slayer, like either later on in the game or just. Yeah, and this is like, they literally, like, kind of almost wish they didn't, like, pause the game to, like, force you. Kind of feel like they could have done it without it, but. And this is bothering me. Settings. Video. Where is it? Colorblind mode. Vertical sync on. Vertical sync on this game can be really annoying. Yeah, I remember that's what people says. The game doesn't have the best first impression because they always complain about the pistol, which is ironic because that's actually something I like. I do currently miss. I haven't been Eternal yet. That is something I do miss about 2016. Is that you just don't have access to the pistol, which is like you don't realize it until you realize how much ammunition and skill it takes to actually kill enemies. Like Eternal, it kind of feels like a step up in a way. I don't like wasting ammunition on like these mook zombie soldiers. I also like to just kill everything in a game. I am playing on easy mode just for the sake of getting through the campaign, so I expect I hope my analysis won't be too hampered by that, but I think it should at least still give an idea of what this game is like and what it has to offer. I'm just going through a straight playthrough approach, so it's like assuming you're the type of person that just does not look for secrets at all, which I assume will be okay. But I still might go for challenges because those can actually get in-game unlocks pretty good. I think that was... Oh, hey, look, a little Vault-Tec reference. Isn't that cute? No, quite a few Fallout fans within my college. It is interesting because like a lot of the people I'm friends with in my college, like it's like half and half. Either they love these styles of games, or it's like nah, they prefer slower type of games, which are more like life simulation and RPGs and stuff like that. Like Static Corpse. I like when angry characters have a justifiable reason to be angry, like Doomslayer and Guts. Guts is kind of like the pinnacle of that because like Berserk has like gives really good motivation for Guts as to why he is the way he is, and that's sort of why I think the beginning of Berserk is a little can turn some people off, is because it just is like you might think it's like Edge Lord stuff like that, which unfortunately a lot of newer shows are like that, which is not great. I love modern anime. I say that half jokingly. Modern anime is good. It's just like it does kind of feel like times have changed in terms of like what is and isn't popular. I say I'm not going for collectibles, but I'm not going out of my way for collectibles. If it's right in front of me, then I'll go for it, sure. And you see the first time you go to Mars, which is like this a lot more open level, which is funny because I don't remember, could be wrong about this, but I don't think the original Doom had a lot of these. At least in terms of visually. I forget what these types of enemies are called. It's gonna possess soldier. So yeah, these were like the enemies that fired more traditional guns in the original. Now they look more demonic-esque. Which I don't think people talk about enough, but I feel like that's part of the reason Oso Doom is kind of popular. At least compared to like compare this to Wolfenstein. Like ignore the whole like power fantasy aspect in terms of like you're playing as like you're going up against like a much bigger threat than just well Nazis. But also it's like you have that thing where it's like when you kill a demon, you don't really feel bad for it because it's like just look at them. They look horrible. Whether it's like even though they're Nazis, they're still humans. Like you just still kind of have that relation there. That's like, oh, you can relate this to something you see on a daily basis, which, yeah. That being said, the new Wolfenstein game's really fun. They do a really good job at, like, at least, like, New Order and Old Blood, which are, like, the only ones I have played. I haven't played New Colossus, I think. They do a really good job at doing the politics stuff well in those games. I also like how they, like, the Nazis feel like actual threats rather than just, like, oh, they're Nazis, so you're supposed to hate them and stuff like that. They give you like it shows like you see concentration camps and stuff like that. It's a not a happy-go-lucky game, even though it does kind of have that Tarantino sort of like charm to it. Anyway, but yeah, so that chamber, we get access to a lot more open levels. Yeah, I have to go back up here. Explore the environment. So yeah, you can see now we're introduced to keys, and we get a little sneak peek. We can see a dead soldier right there that has our key. Let's get him. So yeah, key collecting at first is very easy because they literally just hand it to you. You also can't crouch in this game, weirdly, interestingly. Oh wait, yeah, you can. I was about to say, it's like control is doing nothing, but not like you ever need a reason to crouch. I think you crouch sometimes, but it's not really like. And yeah, my least favorite part about this game is the grenades. I just always forget I have them. I know later upgrades. So yeah, the map's telling me to go right here, so I'll go here. Oh yeah, so we get introduced to the auto map feature. Little base soldier on the ground. Steal his chip. Now we get access to the predator tokens, which are like decrease explosive damage taken. The automatic reveals exploration items to wider radius. Decrease recharge duration. Use power up to unlock. Use a power. Ah, darn. Eh. But yeah, the only thing I was saying earlier is just like to me, it's more fun to kill like monsters and stuff like that than it is to kill humans. That's what I was getting at with the Doom. Oh, hey, imp. So yeah, now we can. Game also clearly like even though it's red, I guess that is something I would say is like you can kind of like it can be a little hard to tell. Like enemies can kind of blend into the background. Okay, so it's not going this way. Is where it is. But yeah, you can kind of see zombies are really only meant to. I'm assuming these are called zombies. If they are not, darn. I guess I'm not getting that job at id. I'm not a Doom expert. Knee deep in the dude. I remember actually playing this at QuakeCon. I remember playing the multiplayer. It's like I remember that was like a lot of the big things is like people were very hesitant on this game when it came out because there's just like a lot of like they weren't really they were intentionally kind of hiding gameplay from a lot of the audience. They weren't like I remember that being a thing of like people weren't really impressed by the beta launch for this game, which like because this game had a multiplayer mode, it still has not had. Charge shot, explosive shot. Oh, right. Explosive shot. So now we get access to. Yeah, the freaking shotgun has a grenade launcher to it, which is so fun to use. Yeah. Both of those power-ups have pretty good uses overall. The shotgun as a whole is a very useful weapon in this game. I know in Doom 2016 I remember seeing strategy videos of like where it's like, yeah, instead of even like waiting for the reload, just switch out your like switch between the shotgun and the double-barreled shotgun, the super shotgun as they call it in the Doom franchise. Oh, wait. Ah, crud. I could have clipped through that. I remember there being like kind of some insane tech in terms of like speed running this game, just like clipping through walls and stuff like that. To be honest, I kind of like lost interest in that kind of speed running. I love it for older games like Mario 64 and stuff like that. And I guess it's because you've always seen speed runs for those. So yeah, more platforming. Platforming is intentionally very easy in the first half because like once you like it's like that Mario logic, you know. It's like when you're learning how to jump and run and such like that, you want to teach the player an environment that is relatively safe. This game isn't safe because you're constantly fighting off demon hordes, but wait. Does this do anything? Oh yeah. Oh, I love these things. They had these at QuakeCon for multiple occasions, and what do you know? They sold out like crazy because everyone loved these little things, these like little Pop Funko Kid Robot little figurine things. Okay, looks like I jump up here. Oh yeah, what I was saying about platforming is platforming's pretty easy in these like first areas because it's like notice how you're not jumping over pits, you're not jumping over chasms. It's because it's like just because you're a first-person shooter fan, like if you're an OG Doom fan, Doom has elements of going over chasms, but it's not really like in-depth platforming because you really how you got over pits was like running across them. That's not really platforming. Like you have a jump button now, and they make use of it. Like they want you to get through these levels in like a keep on moving sort of way. Oh hey, I got an achievement. Sweet. Yeah, games it ramps it up. Like this game is like I do we're playing this because of the snap map, but honestly, this game is super just well made. Like they really were like, let's take what worked in the classic Dooms and just like modernize it, make to like modern day standards. Because like something I was worried about with this game is like I tend to notice that like a lot of these like retro revivals that add in stuff like XP and like character upgrades, character perks, and stuff like that. And this game has that, but it's not like to the same degree as just like, oh, just put them like everywhere like or make it like a core feature of the game. Like a lot of the upgrades is more like how well you play, like doing specific challenges, looking for specific things, like things that were in older Doom games. Just now you're specifically rewarded for that. Like you get XP for finding secrets and stuff like that. So it's like you have more incentive to do these like things that like were kind of superfluous in the original. Like yeah, you got bonuses and stuff like that, but it wasn't really like it wasn't like an actual it's like you can get through the classic dooms, don't do any of the secrets, and you pretty much play through the game like or it's like at least that's how it feels to me. I like how this game does it. Max, I think we're at the end of the level. I don't know if you should be proud of that, buddy. Oh, challenges. um yeah, I kind of steamed through level 1. Let's see, how much time do I got left? 32 minutes. Yeah, I can do that. But yeah, it's like this game, like Wolfenstein New Order, kind of made Bethesda style, not Bethesda, id style games more relevant, just in terms of like bringing back classic style shooters. It wasn't the first by any means. There was like the Shadow Warrior reboot and all that stuff. Ooh, hey, Vega. Yeah, so this is what I mean in terms of like the games. Like Doom always had these kind of like personal. It's like play the way you want. It's like people have done full on runs of classic Doom with just the pistol. Why? Because you can do it, and it's actually kind of viable. Asterix. Also, shout out to this game's art direction. It's not like the most incredible thing ever. I wouldn't say it's a horror game by any means, but I do think it does a decent job at like making this world feel alive. Well, I say it live, just more in terms of like immersing you in. I know people that like actually got attached to this game's story and like the world building and stuff like that because it was just entertaining, which is sometimes all you need. Uh, so yeah, we're still on Mars. But yeah, Wolfenstein New Order kind of brought back classic style shooters, at least in terms of making it itself.
My sisters and brothers be thankful.
Alright, Tilda Swinton. So yeah, if the opening wasn't a dead giveaway, that's our main antagonist of the game. I have to know. Yes, I wouldn't be finding secrets, but...
I believe in honesty, especially now. And what will be your final moments in this world? All the rumors, the human sacrifices, the hopes, the demons.
Yeah, Tilda Swinton. It's true, she was inspired by her. Like, her character, I mean, it was heavily inspired physically wise by Tilda Swinton, which, I don't know if that's a compliment to her or not. She's a good actress. She was honestly one of my favorite characters in the Doctor Strange movies, even though she technically was playing a whitewashed character, but that's besides the point. Don't mean to get too political in here. Did that kill anything? That's depressing. So yeah, by doing like these by playing good, you get rewarded. Also, so yeah, by playing good, you get weapon arsenal, reduces recharge time between explosive shot, increases the size of explosion, removes the loading time for an explosive shot. Hmm. There's actually a trophy in this game for getting all the upgrades on a single playthrough, which possessed engineer. Oh. We'll say, and maybe it's because I have some not so fond memories of playing shooters and games on the Wii and GameCube, where in which the darkness is I didn't know how to adjust brightness settings on old school games, so I just couldn't. Like I remember playing GoldenEye, the Wii remake, and it was just completely dark. But whenever I see dark levels in games, it kind of gives me fear. Not because it's like it's actually scary, but because it's like, oh god, I won't be able to see. This is a good one. I actually kind of think this area is a bit easier than the first, but it's like, as you can see, now we have platforming that if you fall, you die. You gotta, like, restart your progress. It can be a little not fun, but that's life. And plus, also, that's what games are. If a game ain't fun, then why play it? The great Reggie Fils-Aimé. Ooh. I think in Doom Eternal, they start you off with a chainsaw, which kind of shows you their confidence a lot more in the game. Is like, straight up, and also just like overall, yeah, the G. But yeah, so I'd still say platforming as a whole is easy in the grand scheme of things, like in terms of easy, medium, hard, and mastered is what we have as the last difficulty. Yeah, I don't need that. I think that is taken from Doom 3. Like, a lot of the lore and stuff like this is taken right from Doom 3, which is hilarious because everyone likes to act as though that's the like, it is the black sheep of the franchise. But in terms of, like, actual game, it's a pretty fun game. It's just different. That's the biggest problem with it. Like, it should have been a Doom spin-off rather than Doom 3. Like, you expect things when you call something a mainline game. Like, imagine if DMC, like DMC Devil May Cry, the 2012 reboot of DMC, was like the mainline entry in the franchise. Like, if that was called Devil May Cry 5, I think a lot of people would be like genuinely like offended by that game. Am I getting anywhere? This is the intended path. Is this intentional? Oh, right. Yeah, this is when they start, like, you have to start following people. Wait, seriously? Yeah, I just realized Eternal doesn't really give you less health. It actually gives you about the same amount, or I mean, ammunition. Just like this game gives you way more, like at a time. Like you always have ammunition because you're always mailing people. Whether there's an Eternal, it's a bit more like they're like, yeah, get good. So yeah, now we got like these are always kind of a goal in like certain levels, which I have a mixed feeling about in a way. Is like I go by the Devil May Cry logic of difficulty in games, so it's like instead of necessarily making enemies like well make enemies weaker, but also change overall level placement. So yeah, now it's getting a little. This level's like kind of more cramped, so imps are getting a little more tricky. Possessed soldiers also give like pretty like they're a good secondary enemy because they actually have to recharge their weapons. Guess if I was complaining about one of the things about the pacing of this game is like, do I have to wait for the hologram to go every single time? But I guess it also reminds you of like, oh hey, you should be looking for the yellow key still. It's okay. This power up's on the way, so genuinely, fuck. Okay, I take that back. This is kind of creepy. So yeah, now this game doesn't have a reload button, so they actually light up pretty realistically. That's cool. Yeah, I think one of the more fun things I own is like Doomslayer is like probably one, this is probably like one of my favorite characters of redesigns. Definitely in terms of reboot. Like this design is kick, but um, do I have?
Access granted.
Please. Sorry, I really want to look this up really quick. Oh, sweet! I didn't miss them. No, I was like reminiscing about something. Because I have a Nindroid of Doomslayer, and I actually own the two different Pop Funko figures they did of Doom 2016, which was like, it was Doomslayer, and then also it was like I think the Cyber Demon is what they called it. But yeah, they did a lot of variants of those two. Ooh. Oh yeah, now we get access to the assault rifle. God, I forget that. It's like, so yeah, this gun's technically in Doom 3, but the thing is like a lot of people forget about it because it's just not like, yeah, now you get pulled. I should really do like, I do like this gun. One of the things is in Doom 3, it's kind of like a standard assault rifle. But yeah, so we have gotten the assault rifle. I am saying that so that way the Google transcripts and hopefully auto translation, auto. So yeah, now we get introduced to the Berserk power-up. Berserk. The forces. Berserk becomes more useful in this game, now that I think about it, than technically the original Doom, because, oh, we get introduced to the shield enemies. Possess security. Another way that like the melee combat is encouraged in this game is because it actually does help with like platforming. You kind of teleport towards the enemy, so it can get you into areas like help you reach gaps you aren't supposed to. So yeah, we've just been introduced to the possess security. So yeah, combat is slowly ramping up in terms of difficulty. I think this is the first time we talked to Samuel hating 101. Why is... Another thing about this game is the fact that notice how platforms that you can always jump on are green. Yeah, people love to complain about that in Uncharted, but when you're also trying to tell players what is and isn't climbable, sometimes making it painstakingly obvious is the best way to do it. It's not always, like, it's not ideal, but in this case it is, like... Listen, I said I wasn't going to go on my way to get these, but they're also useful for getting upgrades, and they're generally fun. It makes the game funner for me. And plus, it's not like I'm going to get the early unlocks. Like, I know in either this level or the next one, you get access to, like, the plasma rifle, like, 10 levels early or something. Like, no, it's more like 5. This is the first time I talked to Samuel.
It's a gift. Take it. It will give you strength, help you on your journey, if you can withstand the power surge.
See, people always say Doomslayer's an anti-hero, but it's like, he's pretty much a hero. He's just thinking about more the end goal of everything. The reason he's an asshole is because of, like, he has to deal with all the humans that basically made this all possible. Like, in terms of, like, you know, this apocalypse. Well, not apocalypse. I freaking his design is so cool. It's
61,337 UAC members deceased. 81% of the facility is on lockdown. Demonic presence through the Mars installation is critical. According to the records, Dr. Hayden, the invasion originated in the Lazarus facility. It seems that a hell wave was activated, transforming 64% of all UAC employees into the creatures you see roaming throughout the facility. The rest were killed by the demons released from their holding cells by Olivia Pierce.
I feel I should apologize for what's happened here. Some of my employees took things too far. Olivia was the cause of all this, and I believe you will have to deal with her in time. You may not agree with our research, but know this. We exploited Hell and its resources because it was in mankind's best interest to do so. What you now see in this facility is the cost of progress. But none of that matters now.
There is an emergency in the foundry. The regulators have been destroyed and the core temperatures are now destabilizing.
They've overrun the adjacent facility. If the venting turbines aren't re-engaged, neither of us will survive the meltdown.
Thank God. Oh, crap. Now we've completed chapter 2. Let me just make sure this is saved. Thank God. Yeah, spoilers. So yeah, that's Doom Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I'll continue the rest later. Bye.